Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy V, the Four Job Fiesta. Last episode we got the final tablet behind History Falls, but we didn't get all the enemies in History Falls. So I'm just going to go back in here, farm the remaining enemy, the Tonberry. Tonberry you can steal, or it could drop a Mirage Vest. So I actually get lucky and it does drop a Mirage Vest, so now I have two of them. So if you have like a thief, you can kind of, speed up the process by attempting to steal one of the Mirage Vests. Or, it's probably a little less accurate than the thief, but you can use the thief's knife. I sold it though, but that's a possibility. Because that randomly steals an item off an enemy. So, like I said, it's random, so it's not like the thief's steal ability where, you're trying to steal every turn. So you don't know when it will actually, that special ability will kick in, so it might take a little while, but I guess the good thing with the Tonberry is they have a lot of hit points, so you'll probably get a lot of turns to, attack them and try to get that steal off of them. So, Tonberry, they kind of become like a little mascot of the Final Fantasy series later on when there's, I know there's this one group that does a Final Fantasy, speedrun event, and they usually have three teams: Team Chocobo, Team Moogle, and then Team Tonberry. So there's the Tonberry. He's like a little lizard with a chef's knife and a lantern, and he slowly makes his way across the screen. And then when he gets really close to you, then he just starts stabbing you with the knife, and then he'll walk back. So they give you a little bit of time to, deal a lot of damage to him, try to finish him off. But he has so many hit points that he still tends to be able to get an attack in or two. So, but yeah, when he hits really, really hard. So you're guaranteed to probably lose a character or two, because I think he does he does multiple attacks. I don't know how many he does. He does at least 2 attacks once he gets there. And usually, like I said, one of his attacks can take out a character with, usually with one hit, so he might knock out half your party when he gets close to you, but luckily he didn't get close enough to us. We finished him off, and like I said, we got lucky, got that Mirage Vest, so that gives you that, free dodge. The initial physical attack will make you dodge. So, alright. So now we got all the tablets. We can go over to the Kuzan Castle and get the remaining legendary weapons. Not that we're going to use any of them. We probably just sell them. Yeah, it's really funny because they're the legendary weapons. We just get them and sell them. So some people are going to be lucky. They just have to go to a weapon shop and, hey, there's the legendary weapon right here. So, but a lot of the legendary weapons, they don't really sell for a lot of money though. So I guess that's one of the ways that the game try to encourage you maybe not to sell them. Surprisingly, there are some weapons that are better than like the legendary weapons. Like that Titan Axe we got here actually has higher attack power than the Rune Axe, which is a legendary weapon here. I think the thing though is that may make the Rune Axe better is that I think it uses magic points to add extra damage to your attack. So it may, and usually the class that, the main class that uses Axe is the Berserker. I mean, they have really no use for magic anyway, because they just straight up attack. They automatically attack, so they'll never be cast on spells anyway. I guess the only time they'd cast on spells is if you, had white magic or red magic on them as an ability, and then outside of battle. Because otherwise they have no reason to use MP, so. There's the Yoichi's bow. I think that's like a really high critical hit rate. But I think there's might be a bow that's stronger than it. Has higher attack power. I know there's the Ninja Katana. There's a katana that can steal off one of the enemies that has a higher attack rate. So, there's a whip you can steal from those Stingray enemies where we got the you get the Big God spell from. They it's strong against dragons. You can also steal a spear, a dragon spear. So might be a little weaker than the holy spear, but you run into so many dragons that has that effective might against dragons that tends to be a little bit of a better weapon. So, alright, we got 3 more to unlock. So we have to step on here, take off this tablet, then place the new one on, and that'll unlock the final 3. We've got the Gaia's Bell over here, and then the Assassin's Dagger and the Ninja weapon. Both spell that randomly cast the Quake spell, but there's so many flying enemies that Quake isn't a very good spell. Any enemy that is like off the ground, hovering off the ground, is immune to Quake. Because I mean, they're flying. Like if we had float, so Assassin's Dagger can randomly like KO an enemy when you hit it, but it's obviously not effective against undead because they'll just heal them to full. The chicken knife is a little bit better, obviously, because it's even though it can sometimes run away, it just has so much more power. So the katana for the ninja. All right, and with that, we have cleared out all the legendary weapons. Like I said, most of them we'll never ever use. Just I'll sell them. So, all right. Now we've unlocked all the legendary weapons. We've, a while ago, we unlocked the ultimate summon, a Bahamut. But, we haven't really bothered to go grab Bahamut. But now we can actually head to the North Mountain to, get, the Bahamut summon. Not that we'll ever use it, but hey, like I said, we're getting 100%, and, you know, it gives us a little bit of, experience, so. Now, we don't have enough wall rings. If you have wall rings, you can give everybody a wall ring, and that'll help. Because he uses that Mega Flare, his ultimate attack is Mega Flare, and that can be reflected back at him to do a lot of damage. So we're gonna kind of do it like with Leviathan, where we'll have one of our characters hide. You can also use the Magic Lantern to summon Carbuncle, and he puts up a reflect, but it doesn't last the entire battle, so it's not necessarily as good as the wall ring strategy. So I didn't talk to that one guy. I talked with him, but he changes his dialogue based on who you talk to first. So like when we talk with a kid, and he's like, "Tell us about the dwarfs," then he'll have some dialogue about dwarfs. When we first went through here, when we talked with him, we talked with the lady first, and she was like, tell us about elementalists. And then we talked with him, and then he talked about the elementalists. So yeah, his dialogue changes based on who you talked with first. So we just missed that dwarf dialogue, but now we got it. So not that it was really important, but figured I'd show it off here now that I'm selling a whole bunch of this stuff here anyway. So there we go. Need to eventually restock, but once we get to going ready to the collective dimension, that's when we'll restock all our healing items and status removing items. So in order to get to the Phoenix Tower in the North Mountain, we're going to need our Black Chocobo, because he can land in the forest. This kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy I. In the northeast corner of that map, there's that desert where the Mirage Tower was. And you had to land in a small little strip of grass on the eastern edge of the desert. So here we gotta land on a small strip of forest on the eastern edge of the desert. And then from there we can go down to the southwest to the Mirage Tower, where we'll get the Phoenix Summon. But we're gonna go get the Bahamut Summon first, because the Phoenix Tower, it's pretty long. And it's going to take a while to get up, so we'll just head up to the northeast here first to get the Bahamut Summon. And northern mountain, nothing has changed on the northern mountain. All the enemies are still the same, so it'll be just a breeze getting up there. The only thing that's different is when we got to Hiryu the first time we went through, at the summit of the mountain. Instead, Bahamut will come and greet us. So, yeah, Faris' rope is still standing there, hanging out. And, you know, got some new enemies here in the desert. A lot of these enemies are. Some of them will cast Quake, so if you have a float, with the ability to cast Float, you might want to have that, because not these guys, but there's a land crawler, it's a big worm enemy, that casts Quake, and then there's another enemy, it looks like kind of like a shrimp, it casts Quake as well. So, or we'll just have to heal up between battles if anybody hits us with Quake. Stuff here. Heal up. Alright, yeah, not too worried about using high potions. As I said, we'll restock on them before we head to the Cleft of Dimension. We have this thing, and then we have the Phoenix Tower to go. Okay, so that Anku Hegu guy back there, I think he looks like a shrimp, but now looking at him now, he looks more like a centipede curled up. I guess I was thinking it's a shrimp because he's kind of cold like a sea. But yeah, it looks more of a centipede. He can cast the Quake spell. So, all these guys are also susceptible to the charm song that the bard can sing. So, that's one way you can kind of prevent them. Usually the Anku Hegu there, that centipede thing, he just usually casts the sand, quicksand, so it doesn't do a lot of damage, but luckily his skills don't really wake him back up, so he's using that Quake. Yeah. Better he uses it than that land crawler, because one of the things the land crawler does is he uses a maelstrom attack, and what that does is it brings characters that it hits down to single-digit hit points, and then the Quake can knock them out, so. Alright, so back on the North Mountain, like I said, we already got all the treasures on here. So it's just going to be a straight shot up to the summit. All the enemies are still the same from the World 1, so it's going to be, no problem. Not really going to gain a lot of job points and battle points, or ability points, or experience, so. But Bahamut, though, is a pretty tricky guy. He can be pretty tricky. He has a lot of multi-hit attacks, so they can put a damper on you, so. The good thing, though, is that there's a save point nearby, so if you get bad luck against Bahamut, you can just, save you can restart at the save. So, once again, just avoid stepping on the purple flowers, because they poison you if you step on them. I'm gonna go reach this save over here. Yeah, Bahamut has a lot of multi-hit attacks. Poison Breath. I think he uses the Aqua Lung Breath. And then he has Flame Attack, Mega Flare. So we're going to equip 3 of our characters with Wall. Now the weird thing is, I didn't realize this, but the Apollo Harp is supposed to do extra damage to dragons, 8 times damage. For some reason, even though Bahamut is the king of dragons, it doesn't do extra damage to him. So, it's pretty crazy. There's also another dragon toward the end of the game called the Great Dragon that the Apollo Harp also isn't effective against. So, it's weird that they didn't have them coded as dragons. I mean, Leviathan was coded as a dragon. And that's what the Apollo Harp was doing so much damage to him. So it's weird that they messed up on things. The optional super boss Shinryu, the dragon god, he's coded as a dragon, so yeah, I don't know why they didn't code Bahamut as a dragon, but oh well. So to help deal with the one that's attacks, one of the things that attacks he uses is a snowstorm, and we can use the ice shields on our characters to absorb that damage, because they can't be using the core rings because they're too busy with the wall rings. So ice shields can come in handy there. And once we step to the summon, there comes Bahamut. He's going to challenge us, and luckily he is not that big. because he's like as big as the mountain here. He'll only take up the left side of the screen, so. You will open the seal, defeat me, and my power shall be yours. Like I said, if you have the magic lamp brought down to carbuncle level, you can summon carbuncle, give everybody reflect. But that doesn't last the entire battle, so it may run out before you before he uses his mega flare. So he tends to use it, when he starts getting low on hit points. So once he starts getting low on hit points, oh well, sometimes he doesn't use it. But yeah, that's where the mega flare is. Actually, he usually starts spamming it when he gets really low on hit points. But you never know when he can use it. So he knocked out Faris there, who didn't get a chance to hide. There's an Aqua Wake. Yeah, there's a lot of these multi-targeting hits. So sadly, we can't use our Cure 2 spells because we're reflecting, so you gotta heal yourself. Remember, you have to use a potion. If any of those characters who have the wall ring on them gets knocked out, you have to revive them with a Phoenix down. Because even if they're knocked out, the thingamabobber still, the wall ring still takes effect. Yeah, if we want to heal, we gotta use the high potions. So there's that, I talked about that maelstrom with the land crawlies, we got to see it right there in action. It brings everybody down to critical health. There's a snowstorm. Couldn't heal angels up in time, but it healed Cara and Lenna up to full, because they have the ice shield, so it absorbed that thing. And he hits us with maelstrom again. So he's getting kind of low on hit points though, so I just, I kind of get a little, aggressive here. I'm just hoping he uses the snowstorm again. He does, to heal up Cara and Lenna. Just keep Faris out of the way, because she don't have the reflect ring on. Once Bahamut gets down to pretty low hit points, he'll just start spamming the Mega Flare, and at that point we basically won the fight, because it's just going to reflect off of us and go back and deal a lot of damage to him. Lenna guard there. Poison breath. We don't have anything to absorb that. But like I said, he's getting down there pretty low, so. Oh, the samurai has that built-in ability to dodge attacks. If the samurai's class ability to dodge attack takes effect, it won't remove the first image from the Mirage Vest. So yeah, see, he's low on hit points, so he's just starting spamming Mega Flare. That's where the wall rings come in handy, and he just basically cooked himself. We got 25 ability points. Yep. So even though Faris wasn't on the screen, she gets those ability points because she survived the battle. So the only one who didn't get ability points was Angels, but he's in a class that he already mastered, so it doesn't hurt him to miss those ability points. So luckily we can heal up here. We don't have to heal up too much here, because like I said, all the enemies are weak. They won't be doing much damage to us, so we can move the ice shield, get back to that heavy offense that we've been using with a double-handed grip. Basically, like I said, doubles your damage, so the best defense is a good offense. If you take out the enemies real quick before they can hit us, well, they won't hit us. So now we got the long trek out of here. And then we're going to have another long trek across the desert to the southwest corner. We're going to have a long trek up. Yeah, the Phoenix Tower. It'll take 2 episodes to get through. It's 30 floors. The floors are small, though. It's kind of like the Barrier Tower. But it's kind of like a puzzle. It could be a lot of fighting there. The enemies inside you can't run from, so that makes it kind of annoying. A lot of them have status effects. So, and the gimmick is, like the one person in Mirage Village said, you gotta check the walls for staircases. And usually most floors have, 2 choices, a left and a right. If you check the wrong one, you have to fight a kind of a boss monster or a really tough monster. So it can be like a liquid flame from the steam ship. It can be one of those Kuzar beasts. Yeah, quite a few different tough enemies. But if you just follow along my playthrough, then we won't meet any of those bosses. Except for the last floor, you have to get into a fight because the way up is center, and that's the only option you got. So, but we got Bahamut now. Now we only have one more summon to get, the Phoenix summon. We can get that in our next episode when we head down to the Phoenix Tower. We were told that if a dragon dies there, he'll be reborn as a phoenix. So, come back next episode to see us get that phoenix. Take care, have a good one. Bye.